So, you've spent years, maybe decades, building a community in your mobile home park, and now you're thinking about selling. But what happens when the offers, well, they just don't match the value you know you've created? Well, today we're going to break down a really powerful strategy that just might be the answer. It's called seller carry financing. And yeah, it might sound a little complex at first, but stick with us, because it could be the smartest, most strategic, and tax-savvy way to sell your park. Yeah, picture this. You've owned your park for years, maybe even decades. You've seen it all, right? The tenant drama, the leaky roofs, and that one resident who always seemed to think rent was just a friendly suggestion after Labor Day.
Oh, you mean the one who always paid in quarters? That's the one. The point is, you've put in the hard work, and now you're ready for whatever comes next.
And yet, the offers that are coming in, they just feel short of what your park is really worth, don't they? And that's frustrating. It's tough when the numbers on a piece of paper don't even come close to reflecting all the sweat and dedication you've poured into that place.
Exactly. And then someone throws out this term, seller carry, and it just sounds like more complicated homework you didn't ask for. Well, we're here to change that perception today.
So let's just get right to it. What is seller carry? The simplest way to think about it is it's also known as owner financing. And it means instead of the buyer going to a big traditional bank for their loan, you become the bank.
That's it, exactly. You're financing a portion of the sale yourself. The buyer makes their payments directly to you. And the best part? You hold the promissory note, which is fully secured by the very same park you already know inside and out.
Okay, let's really break this down. With a traditional sale, you know the drill. The buyer goes to a bank, and you wait and wait for what feels like an eternity for some underwriter to finally give the thumbs up. Then, boom, you get a lump sum of cash, followed by a massive tax bill.
Right. But with seller carry, you're the one in control. You get a solid down payment right away, and then you get these nice, steady monthly payments coming directly to you. And, this is huge, you get to defer that big tax hit on the principal. You are completely in the driver's seat here.
And this really gets to the core of it. It's a total mindset shift. You're not just doing the buyer some kind of favor. No, you are running your own private bank. Think about that. You get the interest income, you control the tax situation, and hey, let's be honest, you get some pretty serious bragging rights.
And you know what? Unlike the big banks, you'll actually pick up the phone.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does this actually work in the real world? Let's walk through a really simple example to make it all crystal clear. All right, so let's imagine your park is selling for a total purchase price of $800,000, a good, solid number for a property you've taken care of. Now, the buyer isn't coming in with nothing. They put down $150,000. That's real cash in your pocket the day you close. Okay, so here's the key part. What happens with the rest? You, the seller, are going to finance the remaining $650,000. You create a note. Let's say it's at 6%, interest only. This means every month the buyer is just paying you the interest. The big chunk, the principal, what we call the balloon payment, that's due later on, usually when they refinance. And here is the beautiful part. That 6% interest on the $650, well, that works out to $3,250 landing in your bank account every single month. And that is pure passive income. No more phone calls about leaky faucets. You see how this starts to build up? It's a huge advantage for you, the seller. And we're not just talking about the money here. We're talking about control, a predictable income stream, and just genuine peace of mind. Okay, let's tick off the boxes here. You get that predictable monthly income? Check. You get a way higher return than just letting that money sit in a savings account? Oh yeah, check. You get to push off that major tax bill? Double check.
And maybe the best part of all, no more late-night calls about some clogged toilet in Lot 12. It's totally passive, it's secure, and it's just elegant. You're selling on your terms, period. No asking a bank for permission.
Let's just call it what it is. In a world that's full of tough, grinding negotiations, this is that rare thing, a true win-win. And it's one that actually respects your time and the legacy you've spent so long building. It really is a dignified way to exit. All right, but this has to work for the other side too. A deal's only a deal if the buyer is happy. So why would a buyer love this kind of arrangement? And more importantly for you, how does their excitement end up helping you?
Well, the number one reason is speed, plain and simple. A traditional bank loan, that can take months of paperwork, headaches, and uncertainty. With Seller Carry, you can get the deal done in a matter of weeks. That kind of speed is incredibly valuable to a buyer. And you know what that means? It often means they're willing to pay your full asking price, or very close to it.
Yeah, for a buyer, this is all about freedom. Freedom from the banks, freedom from all that endless red tape, freedom from some loan committee that has no idea what a mobile home park is even about. Suddenly, you're not just negotiating against each other, you're collaborating. You both want the exact same thing, a smooth, successful deal.
Okay, let's bring this all back to the bottom line. We've gone over the concepts, so now let's just recap the numbers from our example and see what the full profit picture really looks like. Okay, so let's look at this over a 5-year term. At 6% interest, you've earned a grand total of $195,000. That's just pure interest payments coming in from that note.
That's right. So on top of the $800,000 sale price, you've generated an additional $195,000 in passive income. When you add it all up, the down payment, the interest, and the final balloon payment, you've made significantly more than the initial sticker price, all while being secured by an asset you know and trust.
You see, your win here isn't just one thing. It's made up of all these different pieces. Yeah, there's the predictable income, but then you've got the huge benefit of tax deferral, the leverage to get a higher final price, and you can't put a price tag on this one. Simple peace of mind. You know, when you structure a deal like this, it really elevates the whole transaction. It stops being about just getting a lump sum of cash. It becomes about your legacy, about making sure the community you built continues in good hands. You're not just making a sale, you're creating a partnership. Think about it. Seller Carry is the complete opposite of that aggressive, hard bargain mentality. It's about making a deal through conversation, not combat. It sends a powerful message right from the start that you want this to work for everybody involved. And that builds trust and alignment from day one. And that's the core of it, really. It's a true win-win. You get to secure your profit, you get to protect your legacy, and the buyer, they get a real opportunity to build their own future on a stable foundation. There are no losers here. There's no friction. It's just shared success. So, as you're thinking about selling, I'd encourage you to look beyond just the top-line offer number. Think about the structure of the deal, because it's not just a sale, is it? It's a bridge between the legacy you've built and the ambition of the person who's coming next. The only real question left is, how are you going to define yours?